Now this is a camera worth upgrading. This is the Pocket 3, this is the Pocket 4, and man, DJI has knocked it out of the park. Let's talk about it. Before we kick things off, full disclosure, I am not paid for this video. DJI did send me out the Pocket 4 Creator Combo for this review, but I'm gonna tell you the things that I like and things that I wish were improved because there is so much to like about this camera. And yeah, there are gonna be some firmware updates. They're gonna fix some features, add some more features. I mean, that always happens with these. And there'll be some accessory companies that will, fine tune already the great accessory bundle that already comes with the Creator Combo. But those are gonna be some of my nitpicks. But overall, the image quality, the video quality, the improvements over the Pocket 3 are so substantial that I think if you're like a semi-professional content creator and you have really maximized this camera to its utmost potential and you want the next level up, this is going to be that camera system. Because first off, we have the new Active Track 7 system inside of this, which we've been seeing in some of their other tracking systems, especially on the DJI Ronin. I think it's the 4 Mini, and then obviously the 5 out that just came out, which is fantastic. And now you're getting it here in the Pocket 4. On top of that, you're getting D-Log 10-bit. So your color fidelity up to 14 stops dynamic range out of this camera system. Brand new 1 sensor, fantastic in low light. As a matter of fact, I shot a video a couple weeks ago. It was on the Tamron 35-100 f2.8 around Chinatown here in Singapore. And I shot probably 98% of that video with the Pocket 4. The only footage I did not film with the Pocket 4 was in my studio, some B-roll of me holding onto the lens. If you want to check that video out, you can to see real world low light performance and stabilization. On top of that, we've got a little bit of a larger body because we have now a custom button and a zoom button on the body itself underneath the screen, which you can access. Only access it when you're in landscape, but when you're vertical, you can't. So that's a little bit of a con, but neither here nor there. It's a little bit taller, better battery life than the Pocket 3, but with as much power coming out of this system, you need it. Also, 4K 120 and 4K 240 out of a camera system like this, and memory prices are going up. Storage cards, SD cards are getting more expensive. We now have 107 gigabytes of internal storage inside the Pocket 4. We've seen this in the Action 6, the Osmo 360, the Action 5 Pro, and other DJI products. We're now getting it inside of a Pocket camera. I haven't even used an SD card. I don't need to. So DJI has really packed this up. Anyway, that's enough of the features. So what we're going to do now here is move around, show you some real world performance, and also show you some footage, low light, pitch black, in various different scenarios, because I took this with me to China. I was here in Chinatown doing a video. I was at the Mandai Wildlife Reserve indoors in this new Exploria, almost pitch black with the new flash attachment, which we're going to talk about that in just a bit. So let's get down to it. So what I want to do is show you the latitude of these files. Now, as I mentioned, this is 14 stops or up to 14 stops dynamic range, and you have better low light performance. Now, I currently have an ND16 magnetic ND filter from DJI attached to this Pocket 4. By the way, all your existing accessories in terms of ND filters, anamorphic lenses will fit on this. There's no change in the size of the overall camera housing, so keep that in mind. But I'm gonna have my editor actually show you guys some footage that was shot at nighttime and see the dynamic range in terms of highlights and shadows, how much you can really maximize this brand new sensor and the processor inside this camera system. Because as DJI is touting, it's a brand new 1 sensor and there's a new processor inside of this as well. But as you can tell, it's absolutely fantastic. And also one of the new features is gesture control. Now, we first saw this on the RS4 Mini Gimbal, which I've been using here on this channel off and on with my full frame camera systems to sort of track me, give me that natural dynamic movement. And we saw it even enhanced on the, I think it was the RS5. That's now inside the Pocket 4. That's part of the whole new Active Track system, but the gesture controls, which we never had here on the Pocket 3, are now here. So basically what you do is you hold up your hand in a palm hand to sort of active track the subject, and then do a 2-finger peace sign to start recording. However, the one caveat is, and which I believe they did fix it on the Ronin RS5 gimbal, is that there is some sort of setting to sort of ignore as you're moving your hands to talk. I talk a lot with my hands, and sometimes I can actually accidentally disable the tracking. Hopefully they add that in a future firmware update to this, because for us like me who talk a lot with my hands, I'm constantly deactivating them with gesture control, but it's nice to have, especially as a solo content creator. Okay, so now I'm recording on the Pocket 3. I'm just using the internal mics on this for a second here. And as you can tell, I can't do 2 times lossless zoom on this one when I'm face tracking or subject tracking. So that's going to be one of the caveats here. Also, in terms of, there's no gesture control. So there's a little bit difference in framing, but you're getting an idea of the file and how it looks This is in D-Log M, that's in D-Log. And one thing that I did want to note out to you as well is that when you're adjusting, let's say, the white balance, so I have this set to 5300 Kelvin, that I can adjust the tint, but on the Pocket 4, I can adjust the tint on that as well. So I can fine tune the colors even more so on the Pocket 4 than the Pocket 3. And I'll show you what it looks like right here. But again, this gives you an idea of just how much DJI has thought about putting into the Pocket 4 in terms of its potential. All right, so I'm outdoors right now. It is bright sunshine, probably around 12 o'clock. So not the most ideal time to shoot, but I just want to give you an idea in terms of dynamic range, a little bit of scenery behind me. I'm using the ND32 magnetic filter on this one. And I'm using dynamic framing, which I like personally because you have 9 different points you can adjust on the frame, and you can obviously set this accordingly. So if I don't want so much headroom on the top and bottom, I want it to look a little bit more, I say cinematic versus, the standard active tracking, which puts you dead center in the frame. This comes into play. But when you do have dynamic framing on, you can't zoom in 2 times, which is something hopefully DJI does give us a firmware update to give us that option. That would be nice to have, so you can use it regardless of your setting. It's obviously 4K 120, 4K 240. You can't do 2 times lossless zoom on it, but at least on this, it'd be nice to have that, because active track as it is, then I'd be in the center of the frame. It just doesn't look as good. Obviously, you can crop in, but then you're losing a little bit of resolution. I think they're doing a great job on their gimbals, the Osmo 360, their action cameras, their drones, is they are trying to give us the best video quality and maximizing these small sensors, the best that I think anybody's doing in the industry thus far. And, there's something to be said about having professional quality audio and video in a camera this size, especially on the go, because sometimes where I'm out at certain events, I just don't have the space nor the time to set up a full frame camera system, a tripod, mic, everything, and just record. It takes a lot. But something like this is easy. Within a minute, I'm set up, I'm recording, and I can get great footage out of it. In the 4K 240, 4K 120 is beautiful. I took some shots of my dog running in the park and just some sample images to give you an idea. Tracks amazingly, can track pretty much any subject that you want, and it locks on, and the footage is great. Tell me a camera at this price point, at this size, that can do that. Makes this a home run in my personal opinion. So what we're going to do now is show you the different color profiles out of the Pocket 4, which are very similar to the Action 6 camera. And these are going to give you a nice look if you don't want to do any color grading. You just want to play with it in camera. If you're shooting something that needs that kind of look, you got it inside here. By the way, there is a little bit of a difference in terms of the battery grip. The battery grip on the Pocket 4 is smaller than the Pocket 3. That external battery grip, or that extension, is much larger on the Pocket 3. Very long, but I believe it can fit on both. So I guess if you have a Pocket 3, you can just switch it over. So let's try Anamorphic. I got the Freewell 1.0 squeezed Anamorphic lens on this one with their ND filter. I'm at the widest angle at 24 millimeters or thereabouts, whatever the widest angle is here on the Pocket 4. This just gives you an idea of the anamorphic look. And then obviously if I want to do a 2x zoom in, 2x zoom, a little more of that anamorphic squeeze there on the close-up. Come out with a big narrative, talking about how the Pocket 4 has changed. Okay, so now we're trying something interesting. I have the Lumix S1 II shooting in vlog here with the 24-60 f2.8. I've got the Pocket 4 here in front of me. And we're pretty much about the same. I think we're on the widest. We're 24 millimeters, which is pretty much roughly what the frame size is on the Pocket 4 and here on the S1 II. So you have an idea in terms of the image quality, how this looks. Obviously, this is going to be graded. Both are going to be graded, but it just gives you an idea because I'm shooting in D-Log and I'm shooting in vlog here. So let me know what you guys think. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 2x zoom on this. Okay, so this is 2x zoom, which is roughly around 40 millimeters on both. So you're getting an idea of how this looks. Again, looking at the display on each, I'm seeing that there's probably a bit more depth of field, obviously on a full frame camera lens versus this small 1-inch sensor. But this just gives you an idea. Image quality wise, in terms of detail, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do they look pretty good? Pretty on par? Obviously, besides depth of field, love to hear from you guys on that one. So we are now using a new attachment or new accessory to the Pocket 4, and that is this magnetic light. Now, it attaches, as you saw, to the back of this. You can adjust the angle of it. You can push it up if you want to have not so bright, or if you want to go head on for a much more brighter scenario. And you can adjust the temperature of the light as well. You can go warmer, you can go colder. So you can play around with this. And this is going to be a really nice feature for a lot of you out there that obviously going to be in lower light situations, but you still want to have some ample light. You're going to be at a nightclub, at an event. I like this a lot. I think it's really cool. And, previously we had to use third-party accessories to get any sort of light attachment to it, but never really synced with the Pocket series cameras like this does. And so this only works with the Pocket 4 because of the magnetic attachment on the back of it, unlike the Pocket 3, which doesn't have it. So keep that in mind. If you're saying, well, can I get this with the Pocket 3? You can't. It only works for the Pocket 4. Now, I did want to touch on some things that I felt they're not deal breakers, but they're just issues that came about. Case in point, when I'm outdoors, when I was filming this review, I'm using the color recovery profile when I'm shooting D-Log so I can, see what the color looks like. Now, for whatever reason, the display is not that bright outdoors. And so everything looked underexposed or just didn't look exposed correctly. So I was sort of guesstimating how the ND filters were playing. I probably would venture to say that if you're going to be shooting outdoors in log, in bright sunlight, that you may want to just, shoot in log and expose correctly that way. Also, it'd be nice on DJI and the Pocket 4, and also the Pocket 3, you have like 400, 640, then you have like 400 to 6400 in terms of ISO. It'd be great if they would be able to fine tune it so we could see each ISO step and then we could adjust accordingly, because sometimes, we're going to put an ND filter on depending on the brightness and everything else and how it exposes. So to have more manual control over ISO would be ideal instead of just 400 and 640. So that's something else out there too. Also, one thing I do want to highlight, which I appreciate, and I don't know if you guys got that earlier, is in selfie mode, as I'm doing right now, it's no longer flipped. You have an option to flip it or not flip it. On my previous videos, I did one on the Viltrox 135, and some of you commented, hey, the video's the wrong way. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a selfie issue with the Pocket 3, but that's now fixed on the Pocket 4. So that's pretty much it, guys. Those are my, it's a very long first impressions. I want to say overview of the Pocket 4, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Any questions you have, I'll try to answer them for you. I mean, there's just so many features to this camera system that it's hard to cover it in one video, but hopefully this helps to give you an idea of, is this the right camera for you? I know it's going to be hugely popular. It's probably going to be sold out for months. So if you guys get your hands on one, congratulations. And with that, if you like this video, like, subscribe. Thank you for the support. Greatly appreciate it. And I'll chat to you all very, very soon. Bye. Oh, and by the way, some of you are probably asking the question, should I get this or wait for the Pocket 4 Pro? Now, look, here's the thing with tech companies. They're always testing products. Some of them make it to market and some of them don't. All I would tell you is that if you really need a camera and you think the Pocket 4 is going to be the perfect camera for you at this point in time, pick one up. Like anything in tech, there's a lot of rumors, there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of AI in the market now, so who knows what is true and who knows what's going to be released.